This is Dan Kerr. Today's June 29th, 2024. We are at the Poor People's March on Pennsylvania Avenue. Could you tell us your name?
LaQueen Battle.
And could you tell us where you came from today to get to the march?
I came from, we came from Boston, Massachusetts, and with Reverend Peterson and his group, the New Democracy Coalition, part of the Boston People's Reparation Commission.
Fantastic. And what motivated you to come to the march today?
I just felt inclined to be part of the movement with Reverend Barber, right? Yeah, Reverend Barber, and I've always been inspired by this march. As you know, the Supreme Court rulings just passed against homelessness, ruled against homelessness, the case in Oregon, and Grant Pass versus Johnson. And so homelessness, as well as housing insecurity, is a very important issue to me. And this is very special to be a part of this time today.
That's great. You got my next question, but maybe you can talk more about it, about the economic justice issues that are important to you, and talk a little more about how homelessness, how's everybody? Why that's significant to you, dealing with the housing issues and homelessness.
Well, of course, everybody needs food, as well as access to clean water. Those are most important issues. But right now, of course, the most important with the climate energy, and of course, housing insecurities. A lot of people right now in Oregon and outside of Washington State just passed, went through the Supreme Court, which made it said that it does not violate people's constitutional rights for them to be continually ticketed and fined based on the status that they're homeless. And so the case is Grant Pass versus Johnson. And unfortunately, for people that are sleeping on the streets and outside of Washington State and Oregon, and it's unfortunate that they can't petition for their rights to say that we don't deserve to be continually fined and ticketed based on the fact that we're homeless. And I just got through speaking to the Union Gospel Mission just yesterday in Grant Pass, and they told me that they do have bids available, but unfortunately, some people just do not seek the help that they want to seek. And so there does need to be more shelters, as well as more services available to people that are homeless, as well as taking care of our veterans too. And at this moment in time, a lot of that is just not being addressed correctly, especially what happened during last night's debate between Biden and Trump. So I think that one of the greatest economic issues that we can face is, of course, housing inequality, as well as, of course, access to clean water and access to food and clean water.
And how do you think we should be organizing to address these changes?
Well, we've got to go through our local city council, start at the local first, petition to our mayor, petition to community leadership, and then go to our church, speak to our pastors, speak to your ministers, speak to your local school districts, and let them know that the children need help. There needs to be more access, more people to help with Medicare for the elderly, with child care, with housing, with education. So there's a lot of things that need to be done at the local level, and then it can be spread to the national level as well, to state and local officials there, state officials, and then on the federal level as well. But it first starts at home, so that's where it starts, at home first.
Any last thoughts you'd like to share with us today?
I would just continue to advocate for people that are struggling right now, as well as, of course, for our homeless veterans. I know the migrant issue and the immigrant issue is really big. Of course, there's more immigrants that are being needed to take over the shelters rather than just the local residents and local citizens. But if there's a way that we can address it as, housing first, housing inequality has been one of the major issues of all time. Of course, since the 1950s, 1960s movement. And then, of course, addressing the concerns of the civil rights movement. A lot of the laws being debated before the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 1960s are right now being debated right now between the Supreme Court, especially with voting rights. Um, and so we need to continually to fight for our voting rights.
Thank you very much.